I grew up singing Jose Mari Chan songs, and I know them by heart and like the back of my hand. And it wasn't just my generation, but so many others, including yours, I'm sure. So when JMC began to write his Christmas carols, everyone, and we mean everyone, couldn't help but grow very attached to them. And so in this CNN Philippines Christmas tradition, we have, again, Mr. Jose Mari Chan, or Tito Joe, and his children, Liza, Joe, Michael, Franco, and Angelica on Newsnight. Good evening and Merry Christmas to everybody. Hi, Liza. Hi, Tito Joe, Joe, Michael, Franco, and Angelica. Thank you so much for being here, in spite of the fact that it's just Lisa here in the studio because of pandemic protocol. So let's begin with this. I wanted to ask about 2021. What big things, challenges, events happened in your lives in 2021? We'll begin first with Lisa and then go to the others who are joining us via Zoom. Lisa.
The challenge for me was really trying to manage the fact that I had a son who graduated from high school. Education, as you know, has been primarily online still. And it was difficult for my son because he was a graduating senior, so he missed a lot of the milestones that most seniors will have, like a live graduation and a prom and so many things. Even his exams were not done online. So that was one of the bigger challenges. And then not being able to get together with family as often as we would have liked. Or, our family isn't even so large, but whenever we do get together, until now, we don't do it all together in the same house on the same day. We'll usually have to split it. My family will be there on one night, and then let's say Joe will come on another night with his family, and so we haven't had a large one. That's one of the challenges.
But you're still grateful, right? I mean, in spite of everything that's happened,
yes.
There are things that still made us happy, no?
Yes, yes. And I'm grateful to see how everyone, regardless of their where they are or where they're coming from, has tried really their best to adapt. And I'm especially grateful for the teachers in my children's schools, because I see that they have tried their hardest to continue to make learning possible for my children and to make them not so traumatized, I guess, by the fact that we're still in the middle of a pandemic.
Let's ask Tito Joe and Joe, Michael, Franco, and Angelica the same question. Tito Joe, hi, Merry Christmas to you. Again, like I said, a tradition, we can't do away with this. We always have to have this every Christmas. So for you, Tito Joe, and your other kids who are joining us via Zoom, what are you grateful for in 2021? What are those big things, big events that happened in your life in the last year?
Well, first of all, Pia, I want to thank you sincerely for having us every year, year after year. And, it's something that we look forward to every year. But to answer your question, the biggest challenge for me is running the business remote control. I have not flown to the south. I have not flown to Negros nor to Iloilo in 2 years. And, I talk to my people on the phone every day, 6 or 7 times a day. And then, of course, as Lisa mentioned, the challenge is getting the family together, because especially Christmas time, because to me, Christmas, the joy of Christmas is doubled when you spend it with your family. And it's tripled when you have your grandchildren with you. And thank God, Mary Ann and I have now been blessed with 8 grandchildren.
8. Okay, Michael, what about you?
Yeah, Pia, of course, COVID took center stage this year as well as last year. So I'm just grateful that our family are still in relatively good health, and we still have a chance, although not as often, to get together. So I'm grateful for those special moments.
Angelica? Angelica?
To say the same thing as Mike, COVID and its associated challenges has been very difficult for everyone. But I am very grateful for the old friendships and family that have managed to help and nurture the relationships and withstand test of time, test of distance, and new friendships that have developed despite the remoteness and isolation that we face today.
I was about to say the same thing, old and new friendships. Especially those you meet online. And I think there's a line you always say, and I say to them, I hope to meet you when this pandemic is over or when things are not as restricted. What about Joe? Ikaw? the younger Joe.
Yeah. Pia, yeah, I would say that the biggest challenge is also what they were saying. So safety, keeping our families safe, and the schooling as well for the kids. So we have a daughter who we had to send abroad. So we took her there, and we're in constant communication with her, making sure that she's also practicing, distancing and staying safe as well.
Wow. So extra challenging, syempre, no? We're not just parang there's not just distance here, even if you're in the same country, but when you have family members abroad and sending the kids abroad, no, it's like what? Parang tearing you apart from them. Franco, what about you?
Very similar, Pia. I think the challenge really has been on a daily basis to try to find, to not lose the hope, I guess. In many ways, we still find ways to laugh. And I think that always livens the spirit. Despite, as my dad said, it has been 2 years. We didn't think we'd get this far. I mean, we didn't think that 2 years. We'd always think that, maybe tomorrow will be better. But, in many ways, that sort of hopeful mentality, I guess, has sort of kept all of us and sustained all of us, which I think is a good thing. It's both a challenge and I guess a blessing just to keep that hope.
Mm-hmm. Extra challenging, but still, like you said, an extra blessing. Syempre, like I was saying earlier, people look forward to your dad's songs, no, Tito Joe. People look forward to your songs, no, every Christmas, and not just in Christmas, no. So, and it was interesting the way you guys were able to, for like Christmas 2020, to do quarantine recordings, right? So, Tito Joe, just tell us a little bit about that. No, how challenging was that, and why did you feel it was so important for you to be able to do that?
Well, as Lisa mentioned, we had to partition our gatherings. For example, one of our traditional the traditional things that we do every Christmas is putting up our Christmas tree. When we all gather, all children and grandchildren, we decorate the Christmas tree with ornaments and decors that belong to each one of them throughout the years. I mean, we've had this same Christmas tree now for many, many years. And so putting up the Christmas tree is like looking at our family tree. But the past 2 Christmases, we have had to divide, like, okay, the first night, Lisa and her family, then the second night, Joe and his family, something like that. So, but it's still meaningful to us. And so it's important to keep that tradition going despite the global challenges.
A Christmas tree and a family tree. We'll be back after this very quick break with Jose Marichan and his children. Be right back.
Anyari sa'yo? Ba't nakasimangot ka? Alam ko na. Masakit ang katawan mo, ano? Sa sobrang trabaho? O di kaya masakit ang ulo sa sobrang stress? Break ka muna. Hinga ng malalim at imasahe ang ulo mo gamit ang Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Ako rin ganun eh. Kaya pag mataas ang tensyon sa trabaho, mag-Herbalaya break ka muna.
Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Amoy na kaaya-aya. Sa bawat pahid ay ginhawa.
Through proper diet, exercise, and MX3 capsule, I am ready to serve. Kasi para sa Panginoon, hindi lang ako 4th runner-up. First place ako sa puso niya.
Mahalagang paalala, ang MX3 capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Bank of Commerce. What we are is personal banking, where we understand that every deposit is your hard-earned money. Every loan is for good reason. Every service aids in your convenience. Every business of ours is meant to grow yours. We hear you, feel you, and we act on your every banking need. Bank of Commerce, an affiliate of San Miguel Corporation.
Wala kayo sa tatay ko. Kinuwang libre ang pag-aaral ko sa kolehiyo.
Ang tatay ko namigay ng libreng irigasyon. Wala yan sa tatay ko. Mga tulay, kalsada at infrastruktura, yun yung pinagawa nun.
Ang tatay ko sinagot ang ospital at pagpagamot ko.
Sino yung tatay ko?
Yung tatay ko?
Yung tatay ko?
Ang tatay ko?
Si Tatay Digong?
Si Tatay Digong? Si Tatay Digong?
Si Tatay Digong?
Siya ang tatay ko.
Mabuhay ang malayang Pilipinas.
For my babies, only vet-approved Nutri-Chunks puppies. The only one with active boost and prebiotics na pampalisto. Made with real meat with essential nutrients to help them grow strong and healthy. Happiness! Listo, ganado sa Nutri-Chunks puppies.
Uy! Salamat! Nagyaya ka na uli! Salamat! Nicor Valley Lifted! Salamat! May bago tayong tropa! Salamat! Tayo ay buhay pa! Salamat sa Primera Light na iyatikman! Primera klase ang Primera Light ituman! Salamat, Spray!
Ngayong Pasko, huwag sana nating kalimutang pasalamatan ang mga frontliners na patuloy na nagsasakripisyo.
Ang mga frontliners na 24 oras ang serbisyo.
Alay ng frontliners ang kanilang buhay para sa kapakanan ng sambayan ng Pilipino.
Ang ating mga frontliners, ang mga bagong bayani ng bayan.
Mula sa amin, para sa mga mahal nating frontliners, maligayang Pasko at manigong bagong taon! Frontliners, kayo ang bida!
When it comes to my family, I make sure to give them only the best. Meals that are healthy, safe, and flavorful. Enjoy home-style goodness with Magnolia ready-to-cook chicken templados. Pre-marinated, it is made from fresh chicken. It is so easy to prepare and super delicious. Also high in protein, which helps boost our immune system. Get your Magnolia ready-to-cook chicken templados from Magnolia Chicken Stations in chicken tocino flavor and the chicken teriyaki.
We are at the launch of the SM Startup Market here in SM Mega Mall. This startup market is actually to give a platform for people who are just starting to do business. We place them in our malls to give them opportunity actually.
I'm the co-founder of True Brand. We are a brand of natural and clean products, as well as safe and effective sanitizing products.
I'm the founder and owner of the Truffle Peddler. I hope to be able to open up a chocolateria with SM, and I hope to be able to touch people's hearts with my confections.
We hope that this could, help a lot of the young people who wants to do business, to give them encouragement. You can start with a small one and then grow your business from there. I would like to invite everyone to come to SM. Please check with your local SM Supermall and inquire with them.
Time comes around, I become a child again. Something about it just makes me feel young, like a child again. The time of year when there's magic in the air. Wherever I go, love is streaming everywhere. The people I meet on the street, I wanna greet them with a cheer. First sign of Christmas begins on the first December morn. The reason for the season is baby Jesus being born. Forgive the hurts and disappointments of the past, and let us renew the ties with friends and make them last. It's great to be a child again at Christmas and all through the year. magic in the air. Wherever I go, love is streaming everywhere. The people I meet on the street, I wanna greet them with a cheer. Forgive the hurts and disappointments of the past. Have your friends and make them laugh. Be a child at Christmas and all through the year.
Welcome back to this CNN Philippines Christmas tradition. Jose Marichan, or Tito Joe, to me and to many, and his children, Liza, Joe, Michael Franco, and Angelica, are joining us here in this Christmas special. So this question will go first to the Chan siblings, and I want to begin with those who are joining us via Zoom. So that would be Joe, Michael Franco, and Angelica. In the past Christmas episodes, our specials, I would always ask you about what were your Christmases like when you were kids, and you would make kwento about New York, for example, di ba? And so many other places. But now my question is, what kind of Christmases do you give your own children?
What we do still is the Advent calendar. So our youngest still gets excited every day to open the door for that day. So, for example, December 15th, what is the surprise lurking behind the door of December 15th? And so it's a countdown until you reach December 24. So that's a tradition that continued with our kids as well.
Franco muna. Franco, what about you?
Well, naturally, I think you do what you know, right? So I think I've unconsciously been replicating the childhood I've had with my dad and my mom. For the childhood that I'm sort of giving to my daughter, and as my little growing family. I guess that's how traditions are made, no? I guess if I were to say that sort of togetherness, following the theme that Dad said, if togetherness has always been sort of a tradition, whether happy or sad, stupendous, or even simple ones, all of them are special, and I think that is one tradition that that I definitely am imparting, and I want my kid daughter to sort of get used to. No choice. Yeah.
Okay, well, Michael and Angelica pala don't have kids yet.
Not yet. That's right.
Pero madadagdagan din yan, yung 8 grandkids. So we're going to go to Liza now. Liza, tell us.
Well, when I was growing up, as you know, I grew up in New York, and it was really just our immediate family. And so a big part of my Christmas were the religious traditions. So since my eldest was a young kid, I would bring him with me to Simbang Gabi, Misa de Gallo, and I think my kids still look forward to that excitement of they're tired, but then I wake them up and I say, we have to go. And then I try to involve them also with serving. It's better this Christmas because we're actually able to go to physical mass. Because I think really, I want to stress with my children that that's the most important reason for the season, right? I mean, it's not about the commercial Christmas, so we still do that.
That's true. Tito Joe, this Christmas, well, kanina you said na nga, no, you'd always have to divide up the family, so Lisa's family first and Joe's for another on other different nights. But this Christmas, what is it going to be like? Will you get together with the kids and the grandkids? Of course, given the pandemic, and then we have this new variant coming in. What are your plans?
Well, I always stress upon my children that, especially because of this pandemic, the realization that the spirit of Christmas is giving and sharing. And so what better way, what better time to live that spirit of Christmas than now, because a lot of our people are suffering, a lot of people are unemployed, underemployed. And so in fact, in one of my songs that we all sang together, there's a portion there that Franco sang, and I will let him now recite the words to that stanza of "I remember my Christmas when we went around." Frank, why don't you?
Yeah, it goes like that. It goes. I remember my Christmas when we went around.
Wait, why are you reciting it? Sing it na. Come on, let's hear that chant.
I remember my Christmas when we went around My daddy drove us down to some orphans in town. We gave lots of goodies away. Lots of happy faces made our day. We learned that giving and sharing is the real Christmas way.
Wow, giving and sharing, the real Christmas way. We'll have more on this CNN Philippines Christmas tradition with Joe Marichan and his children on Newsnight. Stay with us.
Welcome to our world, where we empower our customers to determine their personal path to financial success. Introducing the Bancom Experience Program from Bank of Commerce, an exclusive membership program for a discerning few. Enjoy more personalized banking and access to exclusive benefits that suit your lifestyle, including a safer banking experience with the EMV debit card, higher EMV debit card withdrawal limits. Grow a successful and rewarding financial future with experience from Bank of Commerce. Visit Bank of Commerce online for more details.
Oh, anyari sa'yo? Ba't nakasimangot ka? Alam ko na. Masakit ang katawan mo, ano? Sa sobrang trabaho? O di kaya masakit ang ulo sa sobrang stress? Break ka muna. Hinga ng malalim at imasahe ang ulo mo gamit ang Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Ako rin ganun eh. Kaya pag mataas ang tensyon sa trabaho, mag-Herbalaya break ka muna.
Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Amoy na kaaya-aya. Sa bawat pahid ay ginhawa.
Ang tatay ko, ginawang ligtas, panatag at maayos ang buong bayan.
Wala yan sa tatay ko. Ibinalik ang ganda ng Boracay.
Mas magaling yung tatay ko. Nakamit niya ang kapayapaan sa Mindanao.
Ang tatay ko sinagot ang ospital at pagpagamot ko.
Sino yung tatay ko?
Ang tatay ko.
Tatay ko.
Ang tatay ko.
Si Tatay Digong.
Si Tatay Digong.
Si Tatay Digong.
Si Tatay Digong.
Siya ang tatay ko.
Taas noo nating pagmalaki tayo ay Pilipino.
Pangarap ng bawat Pilipino, hangarin ng Northern Cement.
Ahon, bangon, sulong!
Pinalaki ng Northern Cement ang kapasidad ng kanilang planta para steady ang supply ng sementong tigasin. Northern Cement Max Plus, Supreme at Max Pro.
Ahon, bangon, sulong!
Favorite times of the year is Christmas. Dahil ito ang oras na nagsasama-sama ang pamilya. May reunion ng barkada. It's a time for giving and receiving. And it's the best time to choose love. To choose what's true. Kasi ito naman talaga yung mahalaga, di ba? Ito yung mga bagay na totoo. Kaya this Christmas, we choose family. We choose friendship. And we always choose love. At kasama ng GSM Blue, let's choose what's true. Ako po si Sue Ramirez and on behalf of my Ginebra San Miguel family, maligayang Pasko po sa inyong lahat.
Well, the pandemic has forced us to value what is really important. So the question here is, what gifts are you giving this Christmas? I know earlier you said, Tito Joe, what's really important about Christmas. But can you share with us what gifts are you giving each other, if that's if that's okay? Tito Joe, you first.
Okay, so kids, what are you gonna give mommy and daddy this Christmas?
Baliktad. Oo nga naman. Oo nga naman. Sige. No, dapat Michael and Angelica should answer that question first. Sige nga, Michael. What are you going to surprise them with? Clue na lang, clue.
Well, I was just talking to Mike about it. And perhaps just the gift of time and presence.
Oh, that's nice.
Given how many people are suffering everywhere, all over the world, especially many of our countrymen, at least in my case, I will be giving donations to charity or gifts in kind. And again, time spent, especially with those that I haven't seen in very, very long. I think that this pandemic has taught us the importance of being present and there for each other in this time of crisis.
So nicely said. Michael.
Yeah, Pia. There are certain charities and foundations which are very close to the hearts of my dad and my mom. So even more now than ever, during this pandemic, it's important to support these charities and foundations, which will really have a very positive impact on those who are going through a lot of difficulties now. Mm-hmm. So I think that'll be more meaningful to our parents this time.
I love how your dad redirects the questioning. Tamang-tama eh. So, Franco, can you answer that question?
Yeah, very similar also. I mean, not charities definitely. Maybe a lot of them focus on the children because, Christmas really is for the children as well. But I think another factor is that a lot of our religious institutions, many of, especially our parishes and in churches, haven't had masses in a long time, and for many times a lot of the donations there and the alms, they get a lot from just people who attend mass, and since we haven't had that in such a long time, we make sure to remember them. So many times, I think through the example of mom and dad, we would oftentimes give them donations in their name. So I guess the surprise is which donation it will be, which charitable
which
institution
charity?
will be this year.
You guys are so sweet. Joe. The younger Joe, huh?
Yeah, I would say the same also, Pia. A practice among our titas and titos has been recently that in lieu of Christmas gifts, if we could donate to a charity of their choice, of their choosing. And so that has been actually a lot of the gifts that we've been giving this December to the less fortunate.
And Liza, I'm sure you're going to say the same thing, but there's also an added layer here because, like your other brother, one of your kids is abroad, no? So
Yes.
ibang klaseng Christmas to.
Yes. That's my son. Unfortunately, will not be with us this year. He will be the missing member of the family. So
don't cry.
Yeah. Thank God, though, for technology.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I studied abroad after college, I would be counting my quarters or my, to feed into the pay telephone, right?
Yeah.
But now we're spoiled. And so yesterday, I spoke with my son and I was saying, well, how are you? And, did you do this? And make sure that you pay for this bill. And then he just mentioned very casually, oh yeah, I spoke with Lolo and Lola. They called me and they call me regularly and they're asking how I am. So at least we feel reassured that we have that, because it's hard to travel now with the pandemic, right? You have quarantine and then testing, and so it makes it prohibitive to travel as easily as we used to do before.
So thank God for technology, like you said, no? I mean, the very thing that we thought kept us apart before the pandemic is the one that's keeping us together. So thank you for that, especially in pag-Christmas time, no? And it's so important for Filipino families to be together, families all over the world, syempre. Final words na lang from Tito Joe. We'd love to hear from you, your Christmas message.
Well, I really hope and pray that this pandemic will soon be over. So I keep praying to Saint Joseph and to Mother Mary to help us. But anyway, I want to go back to your question. And the first thing that I, want to do is to protect the people working for us, our employees. They're the first that you have to. And then, of course, you also help your parish churches. I'm talking now to the audience. Your parish churches need your help much more than ever. So I want to wish everyone a truly blessed Christmas, complete with God's loving blessings of good health, prosperity, and joy in your hearts. And I really hope, Pia, that this election, we will be able to choose a leader with the help of God, that the leader who will have the vision to lift our country so that our people will have productive and better lives.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jose Marichan or Tito Joe. Thank you very much, and a Merry Christmas to you and to your children, of course, Tiza, who's here in the studio, Joe, Michael, Franco, and Angelica. This has been a CNN Philippines Christmas tradition with Jose Marichan and his children here on Newsnight.
Is wearing a smile on its face, setting the world aglow. Christmas is blessing some old lonely place with all the gifts to show.
Carols that float in the air day and night, and candles that burn with a warm, friendly light. But more, even more than all the above, I know this is true. Each day of the year can be Christmas if love is the gift from you.
When the season comes to an end,
and the New Year's just round the bend,
though they'll take down the tree as always,
and the bright trimming off the hallways, Christmas will linger for always. Let love be the gift from you. That float in the air day and night, and candles that burn with a warm, friendly light. But more, even more than all the above, I know this is true. Each day of the year can be Christmas if love is the gift from you.
When the season comes to
just round the bend,
though they'll take down the tree as always,
and the bright trimming off the hallways, Christmas can linger the whole year through. It's you that can make this true. Let love be
sa'yo? Ba't nakasimangot ka? Alam ko na. Masakit ang katawan mo, ano? Sa sobrang trabaho? O O di kaya masakit ang ulo sa sobrang stress. Break ka muna. Hinga ng malalim at imasahe ang ulo mo gamit ang Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Ako rin ganun eh. Kaya pag mataas ang tensyon sa trabaho, mag-Herbalaya break ka muna.
Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Amoy na kaaya-aya. Sa bawat pahid ay ginhawa.
Ringo Honasan po. Sa pagbangon ng mga Pilipino, saludo ako sa mga taong patuloy na humaharap sa hamon ng pagbabago.
Bilang isang ina, handa akong gawin ang lahat para sa kaligtasan ng aking mga anak.
Pandemya man, tuloy pa rin ang serbisyo para malinis ang kapaligiran.
Serbisyong publiko para sa kaligtasan ng lahat.
Sa panahon ng krisis, ikaw, ako, magtulungan tayo. Ringo Honasan po.